Let me show you something cool that God showed me. So heart in Hebrew is lev and in Greek is cardia, both meaning your mind and your will, not your emotions. Your mind meaning what you put your thoughts into, what you put your effort into, and your will meaning your wants and desires. So biblically, your heart is the things that you think about and the things that you want. A good example of this would be in Ezekiel 36:26. It says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. This verse isn't saying that he will literally take out your heart or that you literally have a heart of stone. He's saying that I will change your will. I will change your thoughts. I will give you better thoughts, better will for yourself. When we become Christians, there is a renewal of our mind. That's what he's talking about. That renewal of our heart is the renewal of our mind. All right, now let's get to the cross. So the cross is where God's will and our will cross. Now, when Jesus was on the cross, where our will and God's will crossed is at the center of Jesus. It's at God's heart. So the heart of God is for your will and his will to meet up, to cross. What do I mean by that? Well, your will, your desires, your wants, your aspirations, your dreams, God wants that for you, but God also has a will for you. And sometimes those don't line up, but God does want to satisfy the wants of your heart. But God also knows that sometimes the desires of our heart will lead us to unfulfilling, sad lives. For example, the book of Proverbs gives us lots of wisdom on how to be financially stable and things of that nature. So that's God's will for you. God does not want you to be impoverished. God does not want you to, be living in a cardboard box, right? But God also wants to satisfy the wants and needs of your heart. So if your dream is to, be a nail tech, God wants you to pursue that, and he wants to do it in a way that still glorifies him. I saw a guy on Instagram the other day and it absolutely warmed my heart. He was a professional chef, or is a professional chef, and his videos were him making foods inspired by different books of the Bible. And there was actually comments under his videos talking about how this really helped them in their faith because they needed a sign or things like that. God can use whatever your talent is, whatever your treasure is on this earth to glorify him. And God wants to fill these desires that you have. Whatever that desire might be, God can use it for the kingdom. You might be sitting here thinking that your talents are silly or stupid or whatever, but God has a place for it in the kingdom. I'm in love with makeup. I love makeup. I love doing weird stuff with my makeup. I didn't think that could be used to glorify the kingdom, but now my ministry is literally meeting other people who are into the same thing as me, and especially people in the world who look like me and might think that they're an outcast for whatever reason, but showing them that there's always a place for you in the kingdom. No matter what it is, no matter how silly you might think that it is, God has a place for you. He can and will, if you allow him to, use your talents and treasures and use your will and your desires for the kingdom, for good, and to benefit you. The heart of God is for your will and his will to meet. Your will meaning your aspirations, desires, and who you are, and his will, which internally will always be better for you. God doesn't want you to stop being yourself and to be a shell of who you once were. God wants you to be you, individually you, for the kingdom. He wants you to be you, but the best version of yourself, which is who he has called you. God wants you to be you, but the joyful you. God wants you to be you, but the financially stable you. God wants you to be you, but the healthy you. God wants the best for you, but he doesn't want you to not be you. That's the beauty of his kingdom, is the fact that he wants you for who you are. He saw you and thought you were worth dying for. That's the heart of the cross, that he saw you and thought, I want her. I want him. He wanted you. He wants you. With all that said, I love you. Talk to you later.